Listen, we have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we are bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. And I am so honored to bring it to your household today with Dr. Kwadjo and Dr. Sharon. How are you all today over there?
Great.
Awesome. Feeling great. Excited to be on.
I am so excited to have you all on. And where are you guys located? Because I know we talked backstage a little bit, but I'd love to hear, Dr. Kwadjo, where are you located?
I am located in New Milford, New Jersey.
Okay, so it's kind of cold out there.
Yes, you can say that.
Yes, and I can tell you one time I was in New York City area and close enough to New Jersey, and I went to just scratch my leg because my leg was itching. I was like, oh, do you know it was freezer burn to the point where it ripped some of my skin off? I said, you know what? This is too much coldness out here.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Really is.
Anyway, Dr. Sharon, where are you located?
Well, I'm an expat New Yorker who is now in Sussex County, New Jersey, which is the northwest corner. A little higher is New York, and a little bit to the west is Pennsylvania. So we can drive to New York or Pennsylvania in 20 minutes.
Oh.
So we're far out from, we're in farm country.
Okay. Well, you have the best volume, and anybody in the studio audience, you can attest to this. Put some comments about Dr. Sharon's hair, because it's like big, beautiful, bright red volume. You could be on, I don't know if you know this. This is a way aside. Sorry, Dr. Kwadjo. I know you're like, I know they're not getting ready to start talking about hair.
Go ahead.
But listen, you could be on those like QVC commercials. I saw one recently, and they were pulling their hair out with some volume brush, and I was like, that was amazing. And it was every nationality, African American, Caucasian, Hispanic, Asian, you name it. They were volumizing their hair. Do you do that?
No.
No.
I do this.
That's the free version, right? All right, y'all, listen, let's get serious. This is not what we're supposed to be talking about today. I am just so honored today to have these two amazing guests, and I would like to introduce them to you. We're talking today about Between Two Worlds, creating a bicultural identity. That's what we're actually discussing today here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Dr. Kwadjo Owusu-Sarfo is a professional coach, a researcher, and international affairs expert focused on mentoring and empowering African immigrants in the United States. He's born in the UK to Ghanaian parents. He spent his formative years in Ghana as well as Ethiopia before relocating and settling in the United States in 2003. So he's been here for 21 years. That's a long time. His unique background as a third cultural kid informs his work. And we're going to learn a lot more. I don't want to go into the PhD that he has in conflict analysis and resolution and all of his academic expertise. We're going to learn about that today and what makes him so passionate about what he does, because he's helped individuals navigate this American society and find supportive communities and all of these things. So we're going to learn about that from Dr. Kwadjo today. Welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show, Dr. Kwadjo.
Thank you. I'm very honored to be here and excited.
I am equally excited, if not more. And we also have Dr. Sharon Livingston, and she is a highly trained clinical psychologist and market research specialist. She's developed several important techniques for uncovering social desirability and self-report biases. We're going to talk about these biases to be more fully understood and help them fully understand customer motivation, because it's a whole cycle to how that process works. Her Sharpen the Focus moderator program has trained hundreds of moderators in structuring qualitative research to ensure ideal group dynamics while exploring a respondent's deeply held brand perceptions, opinions, and emotional needs. We're going to talk a lot about this, y'all. So get your minds right. Welcome, Dr. Sharon Livingston, to the Kim Jacobs Show. Oh, okay, y'all, we cannot just get right into the topic without understanding what made both of you so passionate about this specific area of focus. So Dr. Kwadjo, let's start with you and find out, when did this become such a passion for you? Tell us more about your backstory, where you came from, and what brought you to the United States. Just talk to us a little bit.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. It's a great question. So, as you know, that I did a little bit of I did some middle school in Ghana, and then my dad got transferred to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. My dad actually used to work for the United Nations, and so I spent about 6-7 years in Ethiopia, and so in Ethiopia, I actually went to an American school called the International. It's called International Community School, but the curriculum was American based, and so it was quite a transition, because as many of your audience and you may know, Ghana was colonized by the British, and so we grew up with a British educational system. And then over time, so that now I'm going to an American school, so it's a bit of an adjustment. And then through high school, getting used to the American education system, we would get brochures from American colleges and universities. And I remember getting brochures from Virginia Tech, University of Miami, different colleges, and I really, really loved what I saw from Miami. It's like just tropical weather. I didn't want to go to somewhere that was really cold.
Right.
Although I did get a lot of I did get brochures from New York. I love New York, but then I would watch movies and see the cold weather, and I'm like, New York and I will have a date later, but right now I want to be in a tropical weather and have fun, and the beaches and the palm trees. So that appealed to me. So that's how. So I started getting the brochures around my junior year, 10th, and then I got serious about applying. And so Miami was actually one of the first schools to accept me, or grant admission.
Okay.
And I was like, well, the stars are aligning.
True.
The stars are aligning. I don't have to go to a cold place, because
right.
Virginia Tech also, accepted me. But then I looked at Blacksburg, and I'm like, yeah, that's too cold for me. So that's how my journey from Addis Ababa to Miami and to America, started.
Okay.
And so I did 4 years in Miami. I studied geography and regional studies and international relations, and I also did a master's in that, in international relations. And then after that, I pursued a PhD in conflict analysis and resolution.
Okay.
So as far as what got me into coaching, I give a lot of credit to my coach and mentor, Dr. Livingston, because I went to her as a coach because I really felt, I could see myself as a coach. My friends would always come to me when they're going through.
Right.
They would have disputes or disagreements and say, let's go to Joe or Kwadjo. Two different.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think? Or Dr. Kwadjo, what do you think? And I would have a lot of pressure, but I would come up with some kind of calm, reasoned solution to the problem. And they may not always be happy with what I came up with, but it it was enough for everyone to get along and get it going and be friendly to each other. So I discovered, you know what, I might have this gift. Some of my friends would nickname me the diplomat. you know, um,
Well,
and
you've been called the diplomat for a long time.
for a long time. So I said this is something you should hone. So when I met Dr. Livingston, and I actually was attracted to her work because I saw some kind of advertisement for, a coaching program that she was offering to professionals. And I said, wow, this is something that I should really take advantage of. And so that's how my relationship with her started. And she, through our work, she said, you know what, you'd be a good coach. You have a good heart. You're well, you you speak truth and you're kind. You would be a good coach.
And
And
you're
so, say that again.
and you're funny.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Well,
Thank you.
you
Thank you.
use your humor so well to kind of like, bring things down when people are upset. And I think that's great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And so then it was about, okay, so what kind of coach are you going to be? And we sat down together, and she said, you know what? Well, you've been here, through all your experiences. You like helping people. Like, you can actually be a coach where you're helping people through your own struggles, your own challenges. And I said, that's actually a great idea. So then I started thinking about my early years in Miami, as a freshman. There's actually a story in my book where I came here with my mom, and I remember she was only here for like a week to help me just settle in, which I was so grateful for. And then, I had to watch her vanish through the airport gates back to my family. And so that began the process of, all right, now you're here by yourself. Yeah, you can always call your family, you can always call your parents, but you have to walk through these shoes by yourself. You have to figure things by yourself. And so through trial and error or learn as you go, I I figured out things one day at a time. And so once I started thinking about coaching, I said, well, there are many people that come to America, whether it's for college or for work or whatever it may be, and right now they're walking in the shoes that you were walking in, 20 years ago. And this is a way for you to give back and also, guide them. So that was a big motivation. It was a win-win for me, as in you could help them, put yourself in your shoes back then and help people. And, it's a win-win. You help them, and I feel good being able to help people. And as you said, my PhD is in conflict resolution. And so I like to problem solve. I like to help people. So this is a way to help my people and also live my calling, so yeah, it's a quick story.
And I'm glad you took time to give us that backstory, because it lets us know how your journey happened, and you were feeling alone kind of here in the United States. Your mom came and stayed as long as she could stay, but then it was like, got to cut the strings and let you go on. But you're like, wait a minute, I'm in a whole different world here. And when you talk about a different world, that shows like stuff like a different world, you were really in a different world. And to be put in that situation and not really have people that could help you navigate through until you connect with someone like a Dr. Sharon, that's like a lifelong connection. So I've really enjoyed hearing your journey. And also I enjoyed hearing, Dr. Sharon, how your role was so prominent in his development, because you believed in him and saw something in him.
Oh, yeah.
And showed him, not just said, go figure it out, but you showed him the path to be able to become this wonderful coach that he is today. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Dr. Sharon, you talked to us a little bit about your backstory, and then we're going to deep dive into how African immigrants are here in the United States and what they are experiencing. But I'd love to hear your backstory, Dr. Sharon, first.
So when I was a little girl, Um, I was, famous for the why question. And I didn't know until, I got into psychology that all kids ask why. I thought it was, special to me, but I kept it. And what I learned how to do was really deep dive into the why of things. And when I was still in college, I worked as an interviewer, and my specialty was asking why. And so I used that to move into research and the whole idea of psychology and finding out what makes people tick and how they could tick a little better. And I grew up in a large family. There were 5 of us children. And so I love working with groups. I love knowing about people. I love being surrounded by interesting people. I mean, Kwadjo is a very interesting person. And Kwadjo, we met like 8 or 9 years ago. I don't remember exactly. But you were a very interesting person from the get-go. Kwadjo came into a workshop that I was leading. And we stay connected and reconnected to help him make this change for himself, which was really phenomenal. He's a great coach. So
you could tell. That's good. So your connection with him, how did you all, because I'm trying to visualize, how did you all formally connect? Somebody connect that dot for me.
I was running a workshop on something and he came.
Oh, okay. And so he just showed up. So it's so important to show up. Now, did you show up because, Dr. Kwadjo, that you thought this is a training that I can benefit from, not knowing what the outcome was going to be once you walk through the doors, correct?
Yes. But there's something that she's forgetting, in that she made it easier and more comfortable for me to go, because prior to me attending her workshop, I had briefly, met her at a networking event, and she said, maybe through my ambience or through my kindness, whatever, she said, you know what, you should. I have a workshop that's coming up, and I think you should attend. You'd be great at it. And I said, well, it was just, I was taken aback, like, wow, you just met me for 5 minutes, and you're gonna invite me to this professional, workshop with all these professionals. So yeah, I just wanted to add that, because I thought that was an important piece. Like,
well, just like we talked about Dr. Sharon's hair, even though I know that's very vain, right? All I'm talking about is volume in her hair, even though it's much deeper to what she offers. I just want to also compliment the fact that there is genuinely something about you, Dr. Kwadjo, that it's like almost like a magnet that would draw people to you and make you feel like, oh, Dr. Kwadjo is so sweet. And what I don't know you at all, but even virtually, you can feel the connection and why people would say, hey, you over there, come over here. I want you to learn more about what it is that I think could benefit you in your life. And so I can see that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Even though we didn't compliment your hair or anything like that, we can compliment your spirit. How about that? That's a good
he has an amazing smile. He's got a great smile.
Oh, yeah. Great. Well, we can stay on here and we can compliment each other all day, trust me, from a physical perspective. But here's the thing. Today, we're talking about these 2.4 million, according to statistics. There are about 2.4 million African immigrants in the United States, and it continues to increase every year. So there are people that are here coming into the United States, a rack of them, that need to have some level of synergy and understanding of how they can merge into this American society. So let's talk about what are some of the challenges from your perspectives that are challenges that these immigrants are facing when they come here into the United States.
Okay. So thank you for that. It's a great question. I think, well, I didn't have to experience that because I did my research and landed in Miami, but the weather is a lot of African immigrants are coming from tropical, not too cold places, and then they they show up in America and they have to deal with the weather. So that's now that doesn't stop them from living the life that they want to live, but it's still a challenge that they take into account.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to make sure that that's put that out there. And then when you come in, it's I think you realize that America is so multicultural. There is, like even when you start filling out applications,
Mhm.
you start seeing, okay, are you black? Are you white, Latino, Hispanic, Indian? So when I've talked to a lot of African immigrants, they would say, I started to realize that I was black. Like, yeah, when you're back in a lot of African countries, yeah, you're black, but you're among so many other black people. But
Right.
now, especially dependent on where you arrive first at, you realize, oh wow, I'm a black person in the midst of other races and other cultures. And then you also start there's also the language, like you get this a lot. Oh wow, you have an accent.
You're like, that's because I'm from my area. But I really...
Right. So um adjusting to the different accent and how people speak and the words that they use. And there's actually a funny Dr. Sharon will get a kick out of this. I remember when I first came, I went to a fraternity party, and first off, there were people cracking jokes. There were a lot of jokes being made, but
Right.
and everyone was laughing, but I wasn't laughing. So I'm like, wait, what is wrong with me? Why am I not finding this as funny as all these other people?
Right.
And
It's like, what's going on?
so I thought there was something wrong with me then, but it was normal. You're different. You're still getting to know your surroundings.
That's right.
And then I remember I was asked a question and I was just telling a story, and my audience didn't quite believe what I was saying.
Okay.
And they said, get out of here. Right. And me, I'm like, what? Wait, that's rude. You're telling me to get out of here? And I was like, well, I guess I'm no fun at the party. I don't want to be a party pooper. So I start to make
Wait. So you really start getting out of here?
Right. So, because
That's
I'm thinking, well, I'm trying so hard to make a positive impression. Everyone's laughing. I want people to laugh with me, not at me. And I'm telling you this story that I think is interesting, and you're telling me to get out of here. And so I proceed to make my way out, and they said, no. We didn't mean it literally for you to get out of here. It was more like get out of here as in.
It's like, stop your joking, boy. Get out of here.
Yeah, like, are you serious? Like, this is incredulous, right?
So you would need to get some type of training on it, what we call ebonics or slang terms. I grew up in the project, so we have a lot of different ways that we say, boy, get out of here. Come on. Stop playing. You're tripping.
Right.
Like, I will leave immediately. I'm going to leave on that note. Since you all do not appreciate who I am and the value that I bring to this country, you're taking it very literally. Right?
Exactly. And so that's a very vivid memory. And I remember that, okay, so there's quite an adjustment there. And, I remember started to watch American football, and I grew up watching soccer. And the only breaks you have in soccer is halftime. And I'm seeing, there's so many stoppages, and there's like all these yellow flags. I'm like, I've seen something yellow in the soccer, but it's a card, not a flag. There's so many different things going on. So that now I do watch football now. I love American football, but in the beginning I was like, what kind of sport is this? It's like, how does the audience even concentrate when there's or stay focused? There's so many stoppages. There's so many commercials. Like when I'm watching soccer, the only time I get commercials is halftime.
Right.
So, and then it was only through watching American football that I started to understand the phrase like, oh, stop playing Monday morning quarterback. I'm like, oh, so that's what it means. Monday, now you're trying to you're criticizing or trying to be the smarty pants after the event. After, and I was like, oh, because it's Sunday, you saw what happened and you're trying to, be all smart about what happened the day before.
Right.
So yeah, so stuff like that. So and then so that language, how people talk, trying to understand, I remember like stuff like in Ghana we say trousers, but in America you say pants.
A
So I
lot
would
of
say,
different little
right.
that
So
you have
I would tell people, oh, wow, I like your trousers, and they'll say, what is that? Oh, he means pants, stuff like that.
funny.
So that language was definitely an adjustment that a lot of African immigrants have to navigate.
Okay.
And then what else? Also just finding community, trying to, figure out where do I fit? Who are my people? Like, do I start first with people that look like me and then branch out? And I can't speak for every African immigrant, everybody's different. But I remember that, well, first of all, I was shy when so making friends wasn't the easiest thing for me to
Right.
do. But I also felt that, okay, Kojo, I'm sure at some point you're going to meet your Ghanaian friends and your people, but start off by making friends with other cultures first,
Okay.
But that was also natural to me because remember, I was coming from an international school, it was an American school, but then I had friends from Bangladesh, I had friends from Ethiopia, I had friends from the United States, I had friends from all over. And so it was a bit more natural for me to just say, I'm going to make friends with everybody else. And then I'm sure my Ghanaians and, so my African people are always going to be there. So just by walking around campus, I would say hello and say hi. That made it easier for me to find some semblance of community.
Okay.
So yeah, so depending on where you live, whether it's an urban area or suburban or big city, finding that community can be challenging or can be seamless. And my advice to a lot of African immigrants is if you can find, you don't have to be like me. If you can find your people and integrate within them, among them, and if that makes it easier for you to come out of your shell and meet people and talk to people, and then if that also gives you the confidence to then meet other people, then go ahead and do that.
That's
So,
good.
right. And then the last thing is, I had to get used to American food, fast food, and just
Okay.
getting fast food and then get into walk into class. And I remember I did gain a bit. I got my freshman 15. Not to say that all American food is bad, but I did get addicted to
Oh yeah.
food quickly. And I used to back home. There was food prepared at home, and so stuff like that. Language,
There's a lot of
weather, food. No, that's a few of the things that I can bring up. There's a lot more in the book, but just
okay. I mean, so language, food, communication, joking, and just bantering back and forth. That all of those things based on the culture, whether it's African. In this particular case, we're talking about African immigrants, but imagine any nationality when they're coming into the United States and they're trying to cross some of these cultural barriers. It's so cool hearing about other cultures. Yes, it is, Mackenzie. I agree. I'm learning so much just today about your culture. And one thing, Dr. Sharon, I would love to hear, because it sounds like you've played a key role in Dr. Kwadjo's life and helping him even sharpen his overall skills. What do you do with your program that I think Sharpen the Focus Moderator program? What do you do to help not only African immigrants, but any people sharpen their focus and understand more about who they are and the dynamics of who they are as individuals?
So I teach them, first of all, I teach them how to get comfortable and to be their unique self, even if it's different from other people. I mean, one of the things about Kwadjo is that he makes everyone feel comfortable. Like, he can talk to anybody and they go, thank God I'm home. Like, he makes people feel at home. Right. So when I'm teaching them group skills, and when they're learning how to run a meeting, run a group, there's a big deal about being comfortable enough that you let people depend on you. And so I'm teaching them how to do that. And then you can build in all kinds of, do you want to ask them questions about something? Do you want to learn about this aspect of life? Running a group and having people talk from their heart and their mind, to marry those is the skill I think that I bring.
I think you do a great job of bringing that skill, especially if it brings out what happened with Dr. Kwadjo's life already.
And so when we met and we were talking about coaching, I knew immediately that he was a natural for doing that. And so we went through my coaching course, which is part of that whole thing of Sharpen the Focus. And he learned to be a coach. He did a lot of practice. He had so many interesting things to say that you can't even do in a show like this because, like you're on camera, so you're thinking about being personable, saying all the right stuff, but there's so much right stuff. And he put that all in that book. And so I think that's a wonderful gift that he has given the world because so many people come here and don't know what to do. And this helps you realize what to do even before you come, even to think about it while you're still in the other country. So
that's good. So when you're talking, Dr. Kwadjo, about balancing life, I want to put this image up. This is actually an image of your book, Between Two Worlds, African Immigrant in America, and the culture, the language, and the work. So in this book, it sounds like you're helping them balance and navigate being here in the United States. What tips, or like maybe give us just at least 2 or 3 tips on some things that you would share? We want you to get the book. Now that is what needs to happen. First of all, how do they get the book? Let's start there for a second. How do they get this book? Thank you, Dr. Connie Green, saying this is good information. I see She has a show called Wisdom Tips with Dr. Connie Green, everybody. All right, go ahead. How do they get that book?
So you can get the book. The book is actually on Amazon. You type in Between Two Worlds and African Immigrant, it should pop up. And so right now it's available in hardcover and paperback. And it's the holidays and it's a promotion. We have a very kind of generous promotion price for the paperback at $5.95. So I encourage everybody to take advantage of this price. It won't be this price forever. So please take advantage of it. Get a copy for yourself. Get a copy, a gift for your friends, and
it's a great Christmas gift.
Yes.
And it's a good gift to be able to encourage people to understand just one segment of a culture. It's not even just that, we all are encountering at least 2.4 million African immigrants here in the United States, minimum, okay? So just because you see someone that has a certain skin color does not mean that everyone's, they should understand because they're Black. Or it's like, no, we should all be sensitive and considerate and empathetic to all of the different cultures that make up our communities. And all of us live in these different communities that make up a wide variety of people from all nationalities. So what are we doing that's offensive, that's aggravating, that's stereotypical, things that would make people feel like, why is everybody treating me like this? And sometimes the conversation, and I'm sure we could turn this into more like a Housewives of such and such show and turn it into something real dramatic here if we wanted to. But I would like for it to remain in the vein of, what can we do to be considerate of someone else? I think my show is more like Betty Crocker, and people are like, Kim, you need more drama on your show. Y'all can put a little bit of drama. But why do people, let's just talk about this for a second. Why do people categorize that, okay, with your skin color being dark or darker than another nationality, then that makes you black, period. So get with the program and this is who you are and you should be able to make adjustments accordingly. Any theory or thoughts on either of those from either of you all?
Well, I think it's who you first meet. So like if I had met Kwadjo as my first person with a different color skin, I would think everyone's a Ghanaian, you know, that they all have that culture and that way of being. When I was a baby, I had a black babysitter and I thought she was my mother. And so your perspective is from your experience. And so, yeah, exactly.
That's so good.
I think that people meeting the two of you are very lucky because they get this particular perspective and bring that where they go. So, and like you say, Kim, there are a lot of different people from a lot of different countries and a lot of different experiences. I moved from New Hampshire back to New Jersey after many years of being up in New Hampshire, and I had to adjust just from one state to another. So imagine from one country to another, from one culture to another. It's a big deal.
You know what? You're shedding so much light from just a psychological perspective of a human nature and human behavior perspective, Dr. Sharon, because we only know what we know. And sometimes because we're in the picture frame, as Les Brown, if you've ever heard him talk about this, we're in the picture frame. This is all I see, is what I see. But the people on the outside are the ones that can really give me true, honest feedback about how I'm coming across. And so you may never think that you're being offensive because you don't see yourself that way.
Right.
The facts are the facts. Many people say the facts are the facts. So what's the problem here? I'm telling you the truth. But how the truth is being conveyed based on what you just shared, Dr. Sharon, is so important for us to consider.
So Kim, how did you get into this? How did you become the balanced person?
Oh, yeah.
Great question.
On me. You know what? Back in the day, I was in the pharmaceutical sales industry, and Les Brown came to speak at one of our national conventions. And when I heard him speak, I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? I can do this, make a living telling my story, right? And so I hopped in the car with him at the event, him and his entourage, spent the day. That's why I hate when people, have all these bad stigmas, because he was such a gentleman, never disrespectful or anything at all. And I'm so honored to be able to say that in honor of Dr. Les Brown, because so many people from all over the world, people have things to say about some of the different celebrities and how they may take advantage of young women and different things. He never did that with me. So I just want to put it out there that Dr. Les Brown is just an honorable man. And if there's any way to ever clip this and put it across the world, that there are some great men out there that are honorable, of young ladies that are looking to have their goals and dreams become a reality. So I started traveling the country with him, Dr. Sharon, and we traveled, I'm saying everywhere, teaching people how to start the seminar business. And ultimately, I was like, oh, I would love to do a talk show. So I started emulating Oprah and Dr. Phil and muting the television and reading the closed caption, only to fast forward, have a show being filmed at the old Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio. And PBS picked me up as one of the shows that was, there was a whole crew of people, lights, camera, action, all this stuff. And they had me be the talent. And we started a show called Daily Balance with Kim Jacobs. And wow. Jim and Tammy Faye Baker studio. So that's how I started.
What a wonderful story. I love that.
Yeah, so dreams can come true big time. I believe that with my whole heart. And it brings me in the presence of kings and queens like you all. So I'm grateful and honored to have you here today.
If you would ask Kwadjo and I know we would both agree that you're fabulous.
Oh, thank you. And you know what? All I want to do is let my light shine and salt this earth, leave no stone unturned to do whatever I can to help bring balance to people's lives. And when I say balance, I'm not saying that it has to be looking like it's perfect, because there are some seasons in our lives that look like we look way out of sync to society, but really we're exactly where God has us to be in this particular season of our lives, and He already knew it would happen. So,
you mind if I add something? Or because first up, thank you for your story. Very inspiring story, and very glad to be in this show. But just speaking about balance, it actually, just to add on to your point and Dr. Sharon's earlier point about just, you know, I wanted to, you had asked me, Kwadjo, what tips would you, any tips? And I
yeah,
forgot to answer that. So this is a good way to connect all the different strands. I think that a good tip is just for African immigrants and just for everyone in general is just being open-minded. So being open-minded, don't go into anything with with a closed mind, or I know we all have prejudices, but just be open-minded, be receptive to feedback, use your active listening skills, and it's always and or, not this or that. And why do I say that? For me, I felt it was a bit easier for me because I went to a school with so many different nationalities and different cultures, and so I had no, and so from a young age, I had no, I learned to be open minded, and so that helped me when I came in here. Like, oh yeah, I'm black, but well, there's other Africans here, there's Hispanics here, there's white people here. Go celebrate whether it's St. Patty's Day, Thanksgiving. Yeah, you've never watched American football. You initially thought it was a silly sport with all these stoppages, but check it out. Commercials or no commercials, check it out. So that open-mindedness, I feel, helped me become a more balanced individual.
that's
So
good.
just wanted to add that. And then the other tip that I would add is also, I think it's connected to this, is that when you're coming into a new place, we all have our insecurities. We all have our fears. Are they going to accept me? This is a new place. Is that just come in, have a positive outlook of yourself. Just know that, hey, I'm proud of my culture. I grew up from good stock. My parents raised me the right way.
Mhm.
Everybody has something to offer in America. Everyone has a story. I'm coming in with my positive story and something positive to add to this, salad, this melting pot. And
That's
so just knowing that, just coming in, despite all those insecurities, just feeling like I'm a good person and just finding a way to build confidence that,
that's
that and that you're obviously going to learn about other things about America that are going to be part of your identity. But having that foundation of I love my culture, I love myself is important, and it's an integral part of being a more balanced individual. So just wanted to
That's good. That's really good feedback. And that's again across any culture. I went to Southeastern University and I went to James Madison University, James Madison for my undergrad. And when I say I spoke to everybody, no matter what their nationality was, it didn't matter. I would ask people, are you having a great day? Wasn't doing it for any reason other than genuinely to find out if they were having a great day. And at the time, my boyfriend at that time, he was like, why do you do that? You're gonna be late for class. You mean to tell me you're asking every single person, are you having a great day? And it was such a joke. But believe it or not, fast forward, when I became a senior at James Madison University, predominantly Caucasian school, I was voted senior class president.
Wow.
Wow.
Of course, if you want action, vote for Kim Jackson. But the point was Jackson at that time, and I was able to be voted in by my peers because of the fact that I believe I was connecting with them at that time at a different level, that nobody was taking that time to find out if they had a great day or not, because we were about our business, going to school. And that's in life, how life is. We're so focused on our own lives and the things that we have going on that we don't always take the time to find out how are you feeling? How are you coping? how are you getting through this season when you've lost a loved one?
Right.
Just really just being a person that thinks about other people sometimes more than we think about ourselves. Dr. Sharon, you're people are interviewing right now, ramping up for 2025. I would love for you to just share even a few tips on what people can do to bring out their best dynamic presence in any setting.
Well, I love what you were saying about balance, and that's the theme of your show. I'm learning how to dance tango. And I'm saying I'm learning, but I've been doing it for 5 years and I'm still learning. And one of the most important things is balance, because you're doing all these twists and different things, and you have to have balance. If you don't have balance, you could literally fall on the floor.
Okay.
So the whole idea of balance, I mean, there is like, a dramatic illustration of it, but I love that you're doing the show on balance. And, and I think it made a lot of sense with what Kwadjo was saying. And, I have to balance my red hair with toned down clothes. Otherwise I look like, I'm a wild woman.
Oh, that's funny.
It's like people know me for my red hair, and it comes in handy sometimes and other times not, so the idea of balance is a wonderful thing. And how one finds their balance, you need to take a look at the things you like to do, the things you don't like to do, the things you have to do, and work with them in ways that will have a good result. And you can only do that by kind of looking at them and seeing, the effect of them. So that's one tip I would give.
That's a great tip. And yeah, a great tip. Actually, when you talk about hair, I had my gray had started showing. I was like, I don't care what people think. I'm keeping my gray. It's cute. I'm 54. I embrace it. And all of a sudden one day I was like, girl, bye. I'm going to go ahead and put a little rinse in there and get that gray. Now I'm like, all my gray edges are just darker brown, my regular original hair color, right? But it rinses out in 2 or 3 weeks. And then people know me for the glasses, even though sometimes we're known for something that we never intend to even be known about.
Exactly.
I'm using these as reading glasses, nothing more and nothing less. But now it's like, where are your red glasses, Kim? I'm like, what? The red glasses are just because I need them to see what y'all comments are. But
I thought they were a fashion statement. Look at me.
Right. And I didn't even know that. So you never know what people are going to really connect with you about. Something simple, hair or glasses or whatever. And even just being able to share your stories. I want everybody to feel confident that no matter what your nationality is, that you share your story, because it's going to help someone else have a better outcome for their lives. So, Dr. Kwadjo, any other points you wanted to make that you're like, Doc, I'm on the show, I didn't get a chance to talk about this. What is it?
Well,
other than Ben and Jerry's strawberry cheesecake ice cream, because I did peep that's one of your favorite.
That helps balance me when I'm stressed, So please don't pass up an opportunity to have your strawberry cheesecake ice cream. It'll help you gain balance and refocus. So yeah, now that that's out of the way, I think just to add on to the whole idea of balance, something that Dr. Sharon really helped me with that helped me with balance is that in a lot of our coaching exercises, we will do role play exercises. And I initially was scared. Well, not scared. I was nervous about doing role play because it forced me to put my shoes in someone else's, or forced me to be in someone else's reality. And so I was scared, like, wait, you're telling me to be you and you to be me, but I'm not sure. I'm not as experienced as you as a coach. How can I play you? Or
right.
you don't, are you sure you know how I feel or what I'm feeling at this moment? How can you play me? So there was a lot of hesitation. There was a lot of nervousness. Yeah, I was like, well, you know what? I'm trusting you that this is going to pay off.
Right.
So, through our role play exercises, I learned, oh wow. So it helped me to, become a more balanced person, to gain more empathy, to really see things from other people's perspectives. And so I think that's definitely something that jumps out to me. Like I actually realized that back in the day, I would actually I did a little bit of role playing because I would watch basketball games, and
Right.
I watch Kobe's brilliance or LeBron, and then I would have, let's say, a little piece of paper and then trash and say Kobe. This is me role playing as Kobe.
Okay.
So I've been doing a little bit of this already.
Right.
Just trying to be in the mind or in the world of Kobe Bryant for 1 second. Now I wasn't always successful at making a basket like Kobe, but it was my way of, wow, okay, so this is just, I've been doing this role play thing a little, for some time. I just didn't think it was role play. So I think I'll just add to that helped me with just being a more balanced individual. That
That's
so
good.
anybody can come to me and tell me something, and I try to, in my way of trying to understand them better or gaining more empathy. I try to walk in their shoes and role play. Like, all right, so this is how they feel. He or she feels. This is what they would say in the situation. Blah 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 blah. So
I love that. I just love how you all are approaching the concept of considering people from all walks of life. This right here would just make the world a better place if we do exactly what Dr. Kwadjo and Dr. Sharon are sharing here on the Kim Jacobs Show today. Dr. Sharon, any other thoughts you had that you wanted to share as well?
I think that one thing that makes a good coach is having intuition, having comfort with your intuition. Like the three of us are highly intuitive. I can tell just, in this short amount of time. And I knew that with Kwadjo, like right away. And that kind of intuition and awareness of it allows you to do, the role plays. Not everyone can do a role play. They go, they can't do it.
You want to do a role play together right quick before we, because I'm a big role play person. I love role playing. So finish your point, and then we're going to do a role play. Go. Keep on.
Okay, go for it. I basically said it. That was good.
Oh, I cut you off though. You sure you don't want to say
No, a good coach is intuitive. And so if you're looking for a coach, you want to find someone who's got that sensitivity. And you'll know it because you feel like they're reading your mind. And the reality is we read each other's minds all the time, but some of us know it and others don't. So
that's good. Good. Yeah, I hope that you all are taking some significant notes in the studio audience. And definitely this show, the Kim Jacobs Show, now airs on Roku and all of the different on television devices and stuff. So make sure that during the holidays, if you get a chance, check this episode out right on Roku and Fire Stick, all of those things. So we're there. Okay. And we're in 100 countries through CTR Media Network. So thanks to CTR Media Network, we're able to stream in over 100 countries and 350 million households throughout the world. So please make sure y'all take advantage of subscribing and being a part of everything that the Kim Jacobs Show is doing. All right, let's do a role play. Wait, somebody want to paint the picture? Maybe give us a picture out of your book, The Between Two Worlds, y'all. If you have not gotten this book, it's available in paperback copy with all the Black Friday and all of the different sales that's happening throughout the holiday. You want to grab this book, Between Two Worlds, right on Amazon and get it at a very discounted rate and learn how we can consider African immigrants that are transitioning here to the United States and make them feel a lot more welcome in our culture. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so somebody is a Ghanaian mother who is helping her child to make a decision about coming to America or not. Mm-hmm. Somebody, okay, so Kim, why don't you be the new immigrant, the kid? You're going to be the kid. You're a young man. You're a young man who is a little bit nervous about it, and Kwadjo, you're the mother, and you are trying to figure out whether or not this is a good decision and helping. So one of the two of you do it, and I'll ask questions.
Okay, so I'm the son, and I'm talking to my mom.
Right.
Okay. And we're still in Ghana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're like 15 years old.
Okay. Okay, let me put some different color glasses on. Everybody only know me for my red.
Oh, there you go. Much better.
Okay, wait. Let me see. I really like role playing. Give me a second. Let me get something else. Give me a second.
Ooh, Ghanaian mother. Should be fun. Looking forward to it.
Good.
Okay. Just being.
Oh my God, you're so cute.
You done turned me into a boy. I gotta get a whole different look going here. Okay.
It's great. It's great.
All right. So let's get serious. Y'all got me. Okay. So.
Okay.
Mom.
Kwadjo, how are you doing? What's going on?
You know what? I'm just a little bit. If I'm able to really just be transparent with my mom, I can't let everybody in on this for real. But this is me just talking to you, Mom. I am nervous because I'm thinking about leaving my comfort zone, my area of place that I've been comfortable my whole life. You bring me comfort, Mom. And so I'm okay. I'm okay when I'm around you because I know you got me, Mom. I know you got me, and you are never gonna let anything happen to me. So even when I can't let my hair down with everybody else and my boys, my girls, and different people out in the streets, I know at home I have a safe haven. And so when we talk about me going to the United States, I'm a little bit really overwhelmed with this. Can you help me with that, Mom?
Kwadjo, do you remember your first day at school? How did you feel during your first day at school?
Nervous.
Nervous.
I was a mess, Mom. I was a mess. I was like, Lord, let this day end so I can get home and tell my mama all about it and eat some strawberry cheesecake, Ben and Jerry's, man.
Exactly. Now you remember on your first day at school, yes, you were nervous, but you went to school by yourself. And you remember I wasn't with you then. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am.
But now when you go to school, who do you go to school with when you go to school now?
Well, first of all, I go to school I take myself, number one. But then I also have my friends, some people that I've developed friendships with now that I think they have my back. They have my best interest. We're okay. I trust them enough, you know?
Right. Exactly. So remember, you went from being nervous and being nervous on your first day of school, wanting to come back home quickly to eat your favorite dinner, to you just sometimes you can't even stand me, and you're just happy to go to school and be with your friends, and you find your comfort zone there. Is that correct?
I hear you saying that, Mom, because I actually always can stand you and I love you, and I even though I don't tell you that often, I do know that you're my biggest fan, my biggest cheerleader.
Well, you know I love you too, Kwadjo. I love you very much, and so I want you to transport this same sense of comfort, this same comfort zone that you have when you go to school, whether either by yourself or with your friends. And I just want you to just save that in your memory. And I'm confident that I've raised you to be a very independent, confident young man. You're going to do great in America. And every time you're in the United States and you feel this sense of loneliness or insecurity or whatever it is, remember this comfort zone that you're able to put yourself in when you're in school by yourself or with your friends. Tap into that and you'll be fine. And, if there's anything bothering you, I'm only a phone call away. You can always call me after class and we can talk, but you've got what it takes. You just have to tap into that comfort zone. And just like you were nervous on your first day at school, but then as time went on, you grew into it and became more comfortable. I'm confident that this is the same dynamic that you're gonna follow through in the United States, and you're gonna be fine. Okay?
Thank
All right.
you. Thank you, Mom. I feel
You're
better,
welcome.
so I can just take a mental vacation is what I think I'm here. I can go away, come back home, and I'll technically be right here in Ghana, even though I'm there in the United States. That's my takeaway from books here. So
There you go.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Bravo. Both of you did a good job.
All right. Anything you want to say about that role play, Dr. Sharon?
Well, first of all, you got into it and you did it. If we had more time, I'd be asking more questions, but that was a really good place to end. And I was really happy that as Kwadjo, you weren't wearing your red glasses, because then I wondered about, oh, he's a little bit bold. I wonder how that's going to work, Anyway, I'm kidding. So, yeah, I thought you both did a great job. So, Kwadjo, one of these days you'll be a great parent.
I can tell. Sure, Kwadjo, are you not a parent yet, Kwadjo?
No, not yet. Not yet.
You will be a fantastic. Are you not a husband either yet?
No, not yet.
Oh my gosh, y'all. Not now, let me turn my red glasses sideways. Not that I'm playing matchmaker here on the Kim Jacobs Show, but y'all, and you know what? The Bible talks about a man finding a wife, then he finds a good thing. So if you want to be found by Kwadjo, this is how you stay connected. That's so funny. It's like now and put you out there on a whole matchmaker situation. But anyway, Dr. Kwadjo. Oh, Dr. Kwadjo.
That's Kwadjo, you're going to be overwhelmed now.
All you got to do is email Dr. Kwadjo.
Oh boy, look what you've done now.
KWADJO@gmail.com. Dr. KWADJO@gmail.com, and phone number is 786-301-2797. Again, 786-301-2797. And I say that because we have audio podcast listeners as well. So anywhere that you get your listening downloads, you can also download the Kim Jacobs Show and revisit this episode. And to stay connected with Dr. Sharon, you'll go to Dr. Sharon Livingston at gmail.com. Again, that's doctor, and doctor is DR in this case, DR Sharon Livingston at gmail.com. 201-739-4700. 201-739-4700. Any closing comments, y'all? We're going to get on off this show.
It was fun.
Ladies first.
Dr. Sharon?
It was fun. It was really fun. So you did a great job of bringing us out.
Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Kwadjo.
It was great. I had such a great time. Remember, don't forget, I'm Dr. Kwadjo. I can help you. I'm a good coach. And yeah, my book would be a great gift too.
It is going to definitely be a great gift. Make sure you know that if any episode of the Kim Jacobs Show has been a blessing to your family in any way, please take a moment to just Cash App Kim Jacobs Inc. Or you can even do a PayPal, paypal.me/Kim Jacobs Inc. We have Venmo at the Kim Jacobs Show. And we also have Zelle, which is 704-962-7161, and is scrolling on the screen below. I am a new pastor, for those of you that may not know that. And we've only been a church for 1 month. So please know that we are at the Brownstone Signature Events venue in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, again, this streams in 100 countries. So if you're not in Charlotte, North Carolina, you can do it online as well and participate in our services virtually, because we do stream them every Sunday at 10 a.m. But if you're local to Charlotte, go to 12080 University City Boulevard. It's about 10 minutes from UNC Charlotte, and you can come and be a part of our worship experience as we stand on the promises of God. And that's every Sunday at 10 a.m. All right, everybody, that is our episode today. Get this book on Amazon, Between Two Worlds: African Immigrants in America, the Culture, the Language, the Work, all of these things that Dr. Kwadjo outlined today. What do you want readers to walk away knowing? Tell us that last point.
That we African immigrants have a lot to offer to America, and we add value. We're just like everybody else, and that we appreciate the United States, and we're happy to be here and to add to this great American story.
Well, thank you. And thank you for taking the time again to be here today, both of you. You're amazing. And I'm so honored to have hosted you here today. All right, everybody. Thank you, Mackenzie. Everybody, enjoy your Thanksgiving. If you're watching this as a replay and it's after Thanksgiving, enjoy whatever time you have with your family and friends. And I love all of you all. I'll see you again Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on The Kim Jacobs Show. God bless you all and love you all. Mackenzie, take it away. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference, and I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.